Hey guys, I want to answer a question that I got a little while ago. Someone asked me what was my first cleaning job that I ever did. So, in order to tell you that story, I need to tell you a little backstory. I used to work for a business-to-business sales company. We sold copy machines, and I actually left that job to start my cleaning company. And I found a mentor named Victor who I went to go work for, and he taught me, how to clean restaurants, how to clean carpets, how to clean hard floors, just basically all the technical aspects of my job that I needed to know. And after a little while of working for Victor, all of a sudden I got a phone call from an old customer from my job that I had left. And they told me that someone had taken over their account and mentioned that I left to go start a cleaning company. And they were wondering if I might be able to stop by and give them an estimate on carpet cleaning. So I drove down there and I met with the lady, and it was actually the very first customer I had. Like the very first time that I went to go meet with a client in a professional environment and dressed up in my suit and tie at my day job. It was the first time I ever did business-to-business sales. It was actually with this lady in her office. So now here I am, like a year later, meeting in her office again, selling her my cleaning services. So I do an estimate, and it was about $400. It was for a chiropractic clinic. And she went and approved it. And she was like really proud of me and excited that I was starting my own business and wanted to support me. So I went back and I started telling Victor, I got my first carpet cleaning customer. He's like, oh, that's awesome. How are you going to do the job? What tools are you going to use? And I told him, I don't know, I'll probably just rent some equipment. And he's like, no, don't be silly. You can use my equipment and take my van. That way it's 100% profit and you can use that for your business. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. So my brother and I loaded up in Victor's van and we drove down there. We did the carpet job. And I remember as soon as I got that money in my hands, that $400, I wanted to kind of commemorate the moment. And so we went out and we bought a box of cigars. And the guy at the cigar shop was like wondering why these two young kids are coming in spending $250 on a box of cigars. And I told him, hey, we just closed our first deal and I just had my first customer. And he started talking to me about it, and he actually asked me to give him an estimate on carpet cleaning, and he became my second customer. And these guys, they've got like 3 or 4 cigar shops in the area. And I remember I got to know the owner, and we got to sit down at like midnight after a job one night. We were kicking back, and there's a lounge, and then there's a secret door, like a little private lounge in the back, and you got to pay some crazy amount of money to get in there. Well, after I got done doing my job, the owner was back there hanging out, and he invited me in, and we started talking about business and stuff. And I remember just like sitting there in these really nice leather chairs, smoking an expensive cigar with the owner of like the nicest cigar place in Portland. And it was a really cool experience. And eventually, on a side note, I actually got a membership to that place just up here around the block from my house. And that's where Mike and I would used to go all the time. There's like a 6-month waiting list, but since I knew the owner, he got me in. Mike really liked smoking cigars, and he wanted to get a membership there. So I talked to the owner, and I got him one too. And so Mike and I used to go over there all the time and just smoke cigars and hang out and talk about business and stuff. Anyway, I framed one of the dollars from that check, and I still have it in my office. And so I look at it every now and again and remember how far I've come with this business and the people that it's brought into my life. That chiropractic clinic, after I got done cleaning the carpets, she wanted me to give them a bid on weekly cleaning as well. So I did that, and they became my first weekly customer. And I'd go in there every Sunday night with my brother and vacuum, dust, clean the bathrooms, change out the garbages. We did that for a little while. Eventually I noticed the garbage cans in the exam rooms had less and less garbage in them as the weeks went on. And I was wondering, how come there's no garbage in here? I didn't know at the time what that meant. I thought maybe they were just taking the garbage out on their own. But I was like, why would they take the garbage out on their own if they're hiring us to do it? Well, one day I got an angry email from that lady, and she was yelling and screaming at me, telling me that I sucked at business, and she went out on a limb by hiring me, and she was just trying to support me and be nice, and I'm not a real professional, and she wanted to fire me. And looking back at it now, those garbage cans with the less and less garbage, that meant that they had less and less customers, and they were under extreme financial pressure to pay their bills and to keep their business moving forward. And she kind of just took it out on me. Because we'd show up and we'd do the same routine every single week, and I would clean that place the exact same way I clean every other building that I've cleaned since then, and I've had other customers that I've never lost. I've been working with them for 4 years now. The first customer that I ever got on my own, that was this self-storage place that I showed you guys. I just went in there and I cold called one day, and I met with the manager, and the company had just got bought out by another company, and they were looking for someone to take over all the cleaning. I think it's because they wanted to cut down on the hours. The manager used to clean the place. The new owners wanted to cut down on the amount of benefits that they would have to pay and stuff, so they wanted all of their employees to only work part-time. So they moved the manager down to 30 hours a week, and that meant they needed to add in to hire a new cleaning company to come in and clean the building because the manager wouldn't have the time to do it anymore. So now I've been cleaning that self-storage place 2 times a week, every single week for the last 4 years. They'll hire me to do all their deep cleaning jobs. A couple times a year I'll go in, I'll do all their pressure washing, and it's about $1,600 to pressure wash that place. Anyway, I remember just working at that day job and thinking about how I wanted to be a business owner. Just itching to do it. It was something that I wanted more than anything. I wanted my career just to be running a business, having the freedom, having unlimited opportunities, and I wanted to see what I was capable of doing. And I'm really glad that I started on this journey and that I tried it out. You know, I was thinking about Mike and how he died on Friday, and he was just so full of life. He had so many big plans and goals and dreams, and he was a guy that went out there and did them. You know, he owned a mobile mechanic company, and he had this call center, and he was a guy that would come up with plans and execute them, and he always had goals and dreams and just crazy ass ideas. Some of them were just really far-fetched, but he was like really creative and always energetic and thought that it was a possibility, and that was a really cool thing about him. But it just made me realize that somebody with that much potential and who's that driven could be gone instantly. It just makes me think about how important it is to actually follow your dreams, and if you want to start a business, you have to do it, and you can't wait until tomorrow. You know, I saw Mike on Friday, and he died that night. I have another friend who talked to him at 9 o'clock at night. And Mike was telling him how he just bought a tri-tip, and he was getting ready to go smoke it this weekend and have a big dinner with his family. And he was talking to him at 9 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock at night, he had a heart attack. So, I know this is something that we all know. You know, life doesn't last forever. But it's just really weird to see someone with that much life and energy to be gone instantly. So if you want to start a business, don't wait. You need to turn off this video, and you need to do it now. You just need to put pen to paper, come up with a plan, and just start. Because you'll get your first customer just like I had my first customer, and you'll be 4 years down the road and you'll be really glad that you did. So anyway, guys, if you want to do what you want, when you want, how you want, for who you want, how much you want, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys next time.